Welcome back to the Order, you Star Wars enthusiasts. Today we're taking a look at one of the most recognizable lightsabers in all of Star Wars. The lightsaber of the Dark Lord himself, Darth Vader. This is the Vader Rep 5 by YCSabers. As ever, we'll take a look at everything you get in the box, the design of the lightsaber, the electronics, and hopefully I'll help you work out if this is a saber to add to your collection. If you enjoy this video, it would be amazing if you could leave a like and subscribe.
Help a veteran get a warm meal.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Based on the lightsaber seen in The Empire Strikes Back during the incredible first duel with Luke, this thing is absolutely awesome. So let's get in. In the box, you get all the usual condiments, instructions, Allen keys and charging cable, acrylic display stand, a heavy-duty Neopixel blade, and of course, the hilt. Just quickly, if you wanted to pick one of these up from YCSabers, it's listed as the Vader Rep 5, and you can pick your core of choice from RGB, SNV4 Pro, and Profi boards. The saber I have here is rocking the SNV4 Pro board, which I highly recommend with its incredible features and intuitive controls. As for pricing, the RGB is your baseline at around $360, the Profi is at around $560, and the SNV4 Pro is right in the middle there at $460. YCSabers currently have a discount code which you can see on screen, which gets you 12% off at the time of this video, but just in case that code is gone, you can always use discount code Order66 to save yourself a couple of bucks. This is a beautifully constructed lightsaber with a wide variety of sound fonts, blade effects and ignition styles, but before we get onto the electronics, let's take a closer look at the hilt. Starting at the bottom, we have the classic black T-strip grip section running all along the handle, the black central clamp with bubble strip which is straight out of the original trilogy. There's this section of Arabesh which isn't exactly screen accurate, but good news, this can be easily removed by taking out the two screws on either side. Above the Arabesh, we have some of the coolest details with the exposed wires on either side. Now these aren't actually wiring, they seem to be solid, whether that's plastic or metal I'm not sure, but they look fantastic either way. And then moving up we have the black slanted emitter shroud, which is textured rather than smooth, just as it should be. And then on the reverse we have the D-ring. This is a 2-button SNV4 Pro saber, and what I really like is how the buttons are perfectly blended into the saber on the reverse to look like little greebly bits, which means that there's absolutely zero break from the form factor of the saber. The top switch is your power on and activation switch, and the bottom switch is your auxiliary switch. Taking a second away from the outer design, I'm also super impressed with the chassis. So let's take a look under the hood. To access the chassis, just unscrew the bottom of the hilt underneath the black clamp, and once you've removed the bottom section, you can carefully remove the entire chassis, and this thing is a beauty. On one side you have the rechargeable battery, which can be removed by pulling on this little fabric tab. You have the USB-C charging port, activation buttons, and at the top a kill switch, which is awesome and will help you save that precious battery a little. The bit I really like though is on the flip side, where you find the board and SD card, but also this gorgeous gold plate. The plate is plastic, but we won't hold that against it. But what's really cool is that they lined the inside of the plate with LEDs which sync up with the saber to give you the effect of having a kyber crystal inside the chassis. Arguably it's a bit gimmicky, but as someone that loves exposed kyber crystals or crystal chambers generally, even having the suggestion of a kyber within the chassis is cool. In terms of replacing the chassis, you just have to make sure that you line up the pins with the same shaped connector contained inside the top half of the hilt. Ridiculously simple, but equally make sure it is in properly before you go twisting the hilt back on. With all that done, let's pop a blade in and take a quick look at the electronics. You have the usual features here such as blaster deflex, lock up, tip drag and force push. The sound quality from this chassis is beautiful. There's absolutely no distortion at all. The sounds are really crisp and clear, and the overall sensitivity of the smooth swing is incredible. And of course the board comes loaded with a variety of ignition styles and sound fonts, which can all be changed and accessed using the auxiliary button when the saber is deactivated. To change the blade colour, you just have to ignite the blade, hold the saber upside down and then twist while holding the auxiliary button. But I don't know about you, but when I have a replica saber like this, more often than not I'm sticking fairly close to what we see on screen. One thing I really like about this saber is the connectivity to the ForcePark V2 SNV4 Pro app, which allows you to control the various functions for the saber. While in theory this saber should arrive pretty much ready out of the box, I'd recommend connecting this to the app the first time that you use the saber, just to check that some of the basic data settings are correct. For example, you might find that you need to lower the blade length so that you get all of the effect coming through the blade. Mine was set to around 130, which if I put it back up to that length and test the tip drag, which is right at the end, you can see that the effect isn't coming up, and that's because it's set too long for this particular blade. I think this is a 32-inch blade, which is usually around 115, so if we put it down you can see there that the tip drag is now working absolutely fine. You just need to adjust that so you don't miss out on some of the features, but you can also play around with the speed of the ignition and retraction. It starts off set at around 5, which is pretty nippy, but I'll show you what it looks like at the different slower ignition speeds and retraction speeds. For me, 3 to 4 feels like a good speed, but it's a completely personal preference. You can also find a load of different blade effects on the ForcePark V2 app, so if you wanted to add anything else that isn't already sort of preloaded, you can go ahead and do that dead easily. The app does guide you through the process, but generally speaking, you need to remove the chassis from within the hilt because the metal can sometimes kind of get in the way of the signal. Have it close to the phone with the app on, and once you've selected the one that you want, you just press upload, and there you go. So there you have it guys. The Vader Rep 5 by YCSabers. Let me know what you think in the comments, but for me, they've absolutely smashed it.